जय हिंद दोस्तों, मैं हूं मेजर मोहम्मद अली शाह और मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है। मेरा बहुत सौभाग्य है कि मैं अपने एक ऐसे इलस्ट्रियस सीनियर के साथ अभी गुफ्तगू में होऊंगा जो तारुफ की कोई मोहताज नहीं है। आपने हमारी गुफ्तगू भी खास तौर से देखी है और खास तौर से आपने इनके भी कुछ वीडियोज हैं जो बहुत वायरल हुए थे। अभी पैंडेमिक में आपने देखा होगा, एक कुछ फौज की गाड़ियां जा रही हैं और एक पुलिस वाला एक बैरिकेड में ही डिड अ गुड जॉब। सो एक ब्रिगेडियर साहब उसको मिठाई बताते हैं। He tells his NCO and his JCOs के साहब इनको हमारी तरफ से भी मिठाई दो। That was Brigadier Neil John. He was the deputy GOC. Sir.
No, that time I was the commander of a brigade.
That time sir was commanding a brigade. That's right. And
in fact, that story is an incredible story. You know, during the COVID times, everybody was locked up in their houses. There was no traffic movement. There was nothing happening anywhere. And the only two people that were on the forefront, or three people, in fact, who were in the forefront of activities, trying to protect, trying to provide, trying to be there everywhere, was the Indian military, who were protecting the borders and getting to do things within the villages, etc., of transshipment and transportation also, providing medical services. The medical fraternity, which was looking after all the COVID, the people who had this infection, and then the police. The police did a spectacular job. They were all over the place. They were visible. They were holding nakas. They were controlling the public. They were doing wonders. And the first time I saw the Indian police coming together as a team and supplementing the efforts of the government to managing the COVID crisis, and absolute display of professionalism by the Indian police. So my men came up to me, and when I was having a darbar, they said, "Saab, ये पुलिस पहली बार इतना अच्छा काम कर रही है. हमारी तरफ से, फौज की तरफ से भी कुछ उनके लिए उत्साह होना चाहिए. We should motivate them more." I said, "How do you do that?" And they said, "Let's make some sweets for them and then take it to them at every chowki and give it to them in our area of responsibility." So
that was such a noble gesture. I mean, I'm sure sir must have got a call. That's why when you use a mobile and you do a live, सब call आती है बीच में तो कट जाता है इस तरीके से, and it could be a call from one of the policemen who would be watching the live and must be wanting to thank sir. And sir is an incredible personality. He needs no introduction at all. He was the deputy GOC in Manipur, and he would be logging back again in any moment now. So the network there's been a technical glitch. But he was the deputy GOC in Manipur. On 3rd May last year, when the violence broke out, he narrates his incident. He tells us, he had told us earlier, you can see on the YouTube the interviews there, what had happened that night and what a great role the army had done. The general officer commanding 3 corps, the spkr, and Lieutenant Shahi, he commendable. What a upright man. The Assam Rifles, great. They are very lucky to have a very fine research back, very fine DG at the helm. And hello, sir, you're back. Thank God.
yeah, Mohammed,
Great.
I'm very so sorry.
Not at all, not at all. I presume that you got a call, and I was just telling the audience that it could be a call from the police, someone who's watching us, saying, "Saab, आपका interview देखा, आप हमारी तारीफ करते, शुक्रिया."
Bilkul. And let me just continue with the story, because what happened after that was the men came up saying that we'll make the sweets and we'll distribute them in every chowki and felicitate the police guys. I said, ठीक है, wonderful idea. And then हम लोग शुरू हुए एक जगह से, और हमने ये मिठाइयाँ जो हमारे जवानों ने बनाई थी, ये पुलिस को हमने दिए, उनसे मिलाप भी किया, उनका हौसला बढ़ाया, उनको थैंक यू बोला, धन्यवाद किया हमने, क्योंकि वो ऐसा बढ़िया काम कर रहे थे. And we were so proud of them. As a military man, I was so proud that these were the guys who were on the field doing their job spectacularly. And finally, when this was the 7th post that we came to, और जब मैं यहाँ मिठाई दे रहा था, I think somebody from the police people had already come to know that the brigadier sahab is doing that, and they took this video. And I had gone into an exercise area. I didn't have a smartphone with me. मेरे पास स्मार्टफोन था नहीं, तो मेरे को पता भी नहीं था कि ये वीडियो इतना वायरल हो गया था. और अनुपम खेर साहब ने भी इसको retweet किया था, और other actors also had done that. And it was all flashing all over the news. And for 3 days, I didn't have a smartphone. I did not know what was happening. On the 4th day, when I came out of my base, my wife told me, when I called her, the first call I made to her, and she told me, "Do you know you become viral?" और मैं बड़ा परेशान हो गया उसमें. मैं बड़े परेशान इसलिए हो गया क्योंकि उस टाइम मैं कमांडर होता था एक बड़ा सिक्योरिटी फोर्स का। अब ये किसी को पता भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि मैं कौन हूँ, कहाँ जा रहा हूँ, क्या कर रहा हूँ, और सडनली मैं वायरल हो गया। मैंने सोचा मेरी नौकरी खत्म हो गई। जो ऊपर में बैठे हुए मेरे जो बॉस हैं, जो एक एयरफोर्स के अफसर थे, बहुत ही बड़े बढ़िया साहब थे, और मेरे जो मेजर जनरल साहब थे, मेजर जनरल आपके झा, राजेश कुमार झा, another fantastic guy. I said they're going to clobber me because I'm supposed to be incognito, and suddenly here I've become viral and all over the news. तो उसी टाइम जब मैं मेरी बीवी से बात कर रहा था, मेरे जो बड़े बॉस का फोन आया, जो एयरफोर्स के जो बॉस थे, उनका फोन आया। उन्होंने मेरे को बोला, नील तुम वायरल हो गए हो। मैंने बोला ये ले, मेरी नौकरी गई। तो and he says, but you know what? I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, not because of anything else, but because of the humility in acknowledging a fellow service. Secondly, I'm proud of you because I'm laughing to myself. This is what he said. कि जो रावत साहब ने 20-30 करोड़ डाल के पूरे हेलीकॉप्टर से फूल वूल बरसाए थे, उसमें 20-30 करोड़ रुपए लगे होंगे, ये अंदेशा है, लेकिन वो इतना वायरल नहीं हुआ जितना तेरे 20 मिठाई के डब्बे वायरल हुए। बोला, and that is something which is fantastic. Compliments, congratulations, well done. You won't believe it. उस दिन से आज तक मैं ये सोचता हूं कि अगर उन्होंने अपना रवैया बदली किया होता, या it was something else that he said that you're not supposed to do this and you did this and you're all over the media and buddy, this is not done, that would have been over for my career. But it didn't happen. I'm very thankful to them and the Indian police force. They called me from everywhere. इतनी पुलिस की कॉल आया मेरे को कि मैंने अपना एक्चुअली फोन बंद करके रख दिया थोड़े दिनों के लिए, कि सब लोग मेरे को शुक्रिया अदा कर रहे थे कि आपने हमको इज्जत दी। It is not about giving izzat. It is about acknowledging a fellow security services and the deeds that they do, because they don't understand where I come from. If I'm standing there at the border in minus 50 degrees of temperature, I'm standing there in Rajasthan at 48, 49 degrees of temperature. My job is different. His job is different. He's 24/7 into controlling people, controlling populations, manifesting law and order. I'm looking after the security service of this nation. And जो लीडरशिप है इंडियन आर्मी की, जो लीडरशिप हमारी है, बड़ी प्रभावित लीडरशिप है। इट्स अ वेरी मोटिवेशनल लीडरशिप। एक जवान से लेके, एक सेक्शन कमांडर से लेके, एक प्लाटून कमांडर से लेके, कंपनी कमांडर, सीओ तक, वो लीडरशिप ऑन ग्राउंड लीडरशिप है। और हिंदुस्तानी फौज से nobody can give you a better example of leadership than the Indian Army. Absolute sterling leadership. Out of every 10 leaders, 9 will be absolutely superlative. Our leadership is of that value and that kind. And people might point fingers at you. Yes, everybody has deficiencies. We grow with these deficiencies. But Indian Army and Indian military leadership stands out. And trust me when I tell you, it's the best leadership in the world that you can ever have. We might not be a Montgomery, or we might not be what you call Nelson, Lord Nelson. But we have people who are 100 times more than that. One Sam Manek Shah, for the 1971 war, and his flamboyance got exposed and projected. But we have leadership that is 100 times, and I'm convinced, in the same league as Sam Manek Shah. But leadership also, and its showcasing, is on the basis of opportunities. You have to have that opportunity to showcase leadership, which is valued, projected, exposed to the world, that we have the sterling leadership. एक मैं आपको छोटी सी कहानी बताता हूँ, मोहम्मद। आप भी एक सेकंड लेफ्ट में रह चुके हो। जिस दिन आप वो तारा लगाते हो, जो गर्व आप में होता है, वो गर्व किस बात का होता है? कि आप ऑफिसर बन गए। आप तो एक जनरल साहब के बेटे है कि नहीं? आप तो एक जनरल साहब के बेटे। जिस दिन आपने तारा लगाया था, आपने कभी ये नहीं सोचा होगा कि मैं ऑफिसर बन गया हूं। Yes, I become an officer. I'm proud of it. But what are you looking forward to? You're looking forward to lead those men that your father led. You're looking forward to join that battalion of those men in greens who are going to be your comrades for life. You're joining that battalion that is telling you that this is your life for the next till you are dead. You are walking in as a leader into a prepared position for you. You're getting into a crowd, physically fit, mentally robust, ready to do things, dynamic and full of enthusiasm. And suddenly we pick you up and put you up in the line of control. लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल में आप खड़े हो, सीओ साहब आपका हाथ मिलाते हैं, एक रम का टॉट लगाते हैं ट्रेडिशनली और बोलते हैं ठीक है भैया अभी हो गया तुम्हारा, चढ़ो ऊपर. And you pick up your jhola and pithu and you're walking up the hills in that cold weather, in that jagged mountains, in those deep forests, up into the line of control, not knowing where the next bullet is coming from. अगली गोली कहां से आएगी आपको ये भी पता नहीं है, लेकिन आप चल रहे हो, आप जा रहे हो, आपके दिल में बिल्कुल वो उत्साह बना हुआ है. And you're walking up and you're saying, I want to meet those men who are controlling the borders, who are protecting the borders. I want to be with them. I want to use that weapon. I want to have that in my hand. I need to show them that I am made of metal too. And that's leadership. And that's leadership. When you go there, tell me, Mohammed, आप जब वहां गए हो अफसर बन के, मेरे को भी लगा था मैं अफसर बन जाऊंगा, जाते ही मोटरसाइकिल खरीदूंगा और वो मोटरसाइकिल लेके मैं घूमते रहूंगा सब जगह. ठीक है, हरी वाली यूनिफॉर्म पहन के ऑफिसर के एकदम स्मार्ट बेरे से जय हिंद साहब बोल के चलते रहूंगा. क्या हुआ? नहीं हुआ ना. पिट्ठू झोला लेके हम लोग एलसी पे पहुंच गए या बॉर्डर पे पहुंच गए और वहां हमारे जवानों के साथ हम we started collaborating, we started commemorating leadership, we started getting into the throes of leadership, starting to prove ourselves. पहले 6-7 महीने क्या आपको अपना टेंट मिला? नहीं मिला. अपना बंकर मिला? नहीं मिला. आपने क्या किया? आप अपने जवानों के साथ रहने लग गए, उनके साथ खाने लग गए, उनके साथ पीने लग गए, उनसे आप रोज के रोज बातें करने लग गए. आप अपने जवानों को पहचानने लग गए, कौन कौन से गांव का है, कौन किसका परिवार क्या है, परिवार में कितने सदस्य हैं, क्या करते हैं और आपकी कठिनाइयां क्या है. और आप उस कठिनाइयां में जो चोट उनको लगती है वो चोट आपको भी लगती है कि नहीं? क्योंकि जब आप एक बंकर में बैठते हो, सर्दी के मौसम में ऊपर से गोलियां चल रही है, आगे दुश्मन है और दुश्मन कहाँ है? एक फुटबॉल फील्ड का अंतर है, 110 मीटर पे दुश्मन बैठा हुआ है. हर रात को एक चमत्कार है कि अगले दिन हम लोग बिना कोई घटना के जीवित हैं. And that is leadership. And there is where you learn. Indian Army ka leadership is based on ground, absolutely foundations that are built on rock. You grow with your men. कोई लीडरशिप इंडियन आर्मी का ऐसा नहीं है जो बोल सकता है मैं सीधा ऑफिसर मेस में गया था और एक ऑफिस में, कॉर्पोरेट ऑफिस में जाके टाई लगा के एसी में बैठ गया. हमारे जमाने में तो एसी होते ही नहीं थे.
सर ने बात करी मिलिट्री लीडरशिप की और लेफ्टिनेंट साहब की. सर को फिर से कॉल आ गई. मस्ट बी आई एम गेटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ वेरी नाइस कमेंट्स ओवर देयर. लेट मी जस्ट ब्रिंग देम. Uday Kumar Jain sir, how are you today? I'm good. And Vatsal has commented, what an underrated show. Hats off, sir. Thank you very much, Vatsal. And yeah, so there are a whole lot of comments coming in. But let me tell you, we talk about military leadership. So where else at the raw age of 20 or 21, you could be commanding over 100 men who live and die by your word. Sir's back. So that's back. Yes. So I was just telling the audience while you had, while the network had played up for you, at the raw age of 20 or 21, where could we be commanding over 100 men who live and die by our word? So that's military leadership. And also, at the raw age of 2021, we could be conducting a live workshop over 30, I mean, 18,000 feet above mean sea level, very close to the skies. So that's military leadership. और एक चीज और एक पोएम है, 4 पंक्तियां हैं. A boss says I, a leader says we. A boss says get there on time. A leader says let's get there ahead of time together. A boss knows how it's to be done. A leader shows how it is to be done. A boss lets his people know where he stands. A leader lets his people know where they all stand together. A boss takes the credit. A leader gives it away. So that's something in the military. Yes, sir. आप बड़ी दिलचस्प बात बता रहे थे आप, sir.
Absolutely. और मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ, we were from the Armored Corps, the tank army, and we used to be in the deserts. और हमको पहली बात तो पहले 2 साल अपने जवानों के साथ रहना पड़ता था. कोई गुंजाइश, कोई मसला ही नहीं था कि हमको कभी कोई टेंट मिलेगा. No way. We used to live with the men. वो टैंकों के गन के ऊपर बिवक लगता था, उसके नीचे हम लोग सोते थे. And let me tell you, the best time of my life, the time that I made the best of friends, best of comrades, and I built a family. उस बिवक के नीचे बारिश होती थी, गर्मी होती थी, स्कॉर्पियन निकलते थे, स्नेक्स आते थे, लेकिन सब कुछ हम लोग हंस के सहते थे. एक दिन सीओ साहब ने बोल दिया, यार ये उन लोग ज्यादा जरा चेक करो, उनको ज्यादा तंगी तो नहीं हो रही। जो एडजुटेंट साहब थे वो चेक करने आए कि इनको ज्यादा तंगी तो नहीं हो रही, और देखा कि ये तो बड़े खुश है। क्योंकि जो जवानों के साथ जब आप रहते हो, इफ दे अंडरस्टैंड योर लीडरशिप, इफ यू एम्पथाइज विद देम, इफ यू आर रेडी टू लिसन टू देम, दे लुक आफ्टर यू। सुबह सुबह गर्म पानी एक पतीले में आता था, तो साहब जाओ आउटडोर। फॉर पीपल इन द आर्मी, दे नो व्हाट आउटडोर इज ऑल अबाउट. You know, warm water being given to you early in the morning to go outdoors. Then a warm water mug coming to you for your shaving. Then Maggie with bloody anda thrown into it coming as breakfast. Then you're dressing up. Your uniform is already combat dress, which is never ironed in field, is all ironed and ready for you. And there is one guy detailed who is the junior most कि साहब की देखभाल करना है, साहब का टर्नआउट हमारे ऊपर है। अगर साहब के टर्नआउट को टिक ऑफ किया जाए, अगर साहब के टर्नआउट को कभी लगा कि साहब की टकाई हो जाए, तो तेरा भूत बन जाएगा। This has happened. That buddy becomes your buddy for life. मेरा जो buddy था जगबीर सिंह, today is the Risaldar major of my unit.
Wow.
And he's the SL, what do you call this, Subedar major of the unit. Fantastic guy. He gives me a call every second week. So you see, the men look after you when they understand that this man is going to hold their hand, is going to take care of them, and he's going to grow with them. You need to empathize with them. You need to understand your problems. And the Indian Army gives you the sterling platform to showcase your leadership skills. Let me tell you, every officer of the Indian Army goes through this rigmarole. There are units which make you go and visit your Jawans' homes, attend wedding functions of Jawans of your troop which are not married. And this is unique in every way. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. You are with your men 24/7. And that is where you start your military career. And then as you grow in life, you become a company commander. As a company commander, the same men are the men who are proud of you, saying that कल साहब हमारे साथ बिवक के अंदर खाना खा रहे थे, हमने साहब को आलू खिचड़ी खिलाई थी, और यही साहब अपने कंपनी कमांडर हैं. They take liberties out of you. If a soldier is taking liberties from you, walking up to you and saying, क्या हाल है साहब? That means you've been accepted. That means you've been taken into their fold. That means he trusts you. That means he also knows that in any kind of difficulty, this officer is the one who will hold my hand. And that is leadership. That is leadership. Let's talk about our colonels, our CO साहब. Tigers हो. हर एक CO साहब एक tiger होता है. होते हैं एक दो जो थोड़े different हो जाते हैं because they are concentrating more on the top than on below them. And I don't blame them because ambition is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But controlled ambition is what is required in the Army. Our CEOs are tigers. Who wins the battles for you? Talk about Galwan, talk about Off-Vijay, talk about 1971. It was the junior leaders led by the commanding officers who won these battles for you, the men on ground. And our CEOs are leaders. They command a body of troops that are ready to go to battle. They're ready to go to give up their lives against all odds for one order by the commanding officer. And this commanding officer is nothing less than an emperor of 1,000 men. And this command and control is amazing because after the commanding officer, there is nothing more valiant and valuable in the Indian Army. Every commanding officer, therefore, is a tiger or it needs to be a tiger. Let me also tell you, no brigade commander interferes in the operations of a CO. Because once a delegation of an order is given, it is the responsibility of the CO to conduct operations the way he wants. And I don't think any officer above a rank or the commander of a brigadier's rank will ever interfere once an order has been given, and he will not interfere in the working or functioning of the commanding officer. The respect the commanding officer gets is something that I cannot even explain. You know, everywhere you'll find the board COs and flag cars only. जहां पे एंट्री नहीं होती है वहां पे भी बोर्ड लगा होता है COs and flag cars only. मतलब ये CO को एक जनरल माना जा रहा है और ये हिंदुस्तानी फौज का तरीका है to give respect to those valiant officers of the field, the commanding officer, and telling him, भैया तुम टाइगर हो, बस लगे रहो, जमे रहो, क्योंकि हिंदुस्तानी फौज का पूरा इज्जत और पूरा प्रभाव जो है ये आपके ऊपर निर्भर करता है. And these commanding officers never let you down. Let me tell you, one odd incident here and there is okay, but 99% of commanding officers are the bravest. Let's come down to our commanders, our brigadiers. Our brigadiers are fantastic. They have gone through the mill. They have been churned and they have come. Yes, everybody must not be a performer. But that's also because everybody has not been given the opportunity to perform in the best way he could in an environment that was enabled. So, therefore, you have all kinds. But a brigadier's leadership is more about planning and orchestration. He spends 60% of his entire time in preparing men for battle through absolutely sterling contemporary training procedures, administration, quality of life. 60% is concentrated on that, and 40% is concentrated on actual operations because the actual operation 100% is the CEO's job. Then come down to the major generals. You have major generals. You know it very well. 3.2 to 3.8% of the Indian Army becomes major generals. Naturally, if if you have grown so high and you've come so far, that means you have some qualities within you. A lot of good people also get let down because of the triangular hierarchical system of the Indian Army. But that's destiny, that's karma. Right? But the fact is, we have people out there ready to take a decision, ready to take a risk, ready to hold your hand, and ready to commit themselves to the leadership of the Indian Army. Today, I can boast of generals that I know who are lieutenant generals and commanding corps and army commanders who are the best leaders in the world. I can take names. I can take names. The Army Commander, Eastern Command, General Tiwari, fantastic officer, a man who walks the talk. General Manish Eri, the commander of the GOC of 4 Corps, fantastic officer. General Sahi, the GOC of 3 Corps, fantastic officer because I was with them, I served with them, I saw how they give orders, I know how they perform. Absolutely wonderful people who know their beans and at the same time are diplomatic enough, are charismatic enough, and to handle pressures all around them. Indian Army leadership comes with 3 factors. One is the ability to take decisions. Second is the ability to take calculated risks. Thirdly, to hold the hands of the men below them without any obstructions. That's the Indian Army for you. That's leadership for you. Look at our courses. Look at our courses also. People who do well are put in army headquarters. People who do not do so well are also given opportunities by being on staff. And there also the leadership qualities are shown in staff. Everybody does not have to go and find and win battles on the ground. There are some required to plan it and strategize it also and ensure that the ground real picture is connected to the plans that are made by the guys on top. Because see, the difference between a major general and a colonel is about 15 years of service. So there might be a disconnect. Therefore, you need the staff, the leadership role by the staff, by planning and conceptualizing operations, helping the generals plan it for the colonels below, and giving them a situation that is holistic is amazing. Everybody performs its role. Everybody performs its role. And today, let me tell you, the world might say whatever they want to say. The naysayers might say what they want to say. There are a lot of veterans who keep commenting about leadership. We don't blame them. They must have had some kind of leadership that has caused them a certain amount of angst. But the fight is that what is our leadership on ground? And I can, Mohammed, actually tell you, because I've just come out from the Indian Army, that our leadership on the ground, give our soldier, give our officer a bulletproof and a weapon. And he's a war machine that is incredible, and he can beat the shit out of the devil too.
True, that's very leadership. True. That's very true, sir. That's what you have said just now reminds me of Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem Charge of the Light Brigade. सुनी होगी sir? ये हर फौजी सुनता है ना ये poem. So if I remember correctly, मैं ये school में सीखी थी. If I remember the wording correctly, he said, half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death. Rode the 600. Forward the light brigade, charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death, rode the 600. Forward the light brigade, was their man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. There's not to make reply, there's not reason why, there's but to do and die. Into the valley of death, rode the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600. Flashed all the sabres bare, flashed as they turned in air. Sabering the gunners there, charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged into the battery smoke, right through the line that broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they turned back. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, as horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made! All the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Ninth Brigade, the noble 600. So, sir, ये एक poem. And
Fantastic. Fantastic.
thank you, sir.
You know, the
Thank you, sir.
charge of the Red Brigade also reminds me about the heroic activities of our soldiers when we captured both Tololing, Tiger Hill, and all these features in Off Vijay. Amazing, amazing. Climbing those icy slopes, jagged rocks, hail of bullets coming onto them from people right there, from the terrorists sitting on top, and these guys just climbed, knowing that the next bullet would get them and with sheer death. And yet they climbed. And yet they climbed. That is leadership. They climbed because of a junior leadership, because of the captain Saab, that Major Saab, that JCO who led them from the front. And Indian Army gives that platform to you. For all these people watching who are not part of the Indian Army and are still watching this video, trust me when I tell you, आप अपने देश के ऊपर नाज रखो, क्योंकि आपके देश ने भारतीय सेना को इतना ऊंचा बनाया हुआ है कि ये जो भारतीय सैनिक है वो आपको कभी धोखा नहीं देगा और आपको कभी he will never ever let you down, because for him the nation comes first always and every time, and that is only because he's bred born in a unit, और वो यूनिट का जो नाम और निशान पहनता है उस निशान को कभी वो गिरने नहीं देगा. ये है भारतीय सेना आपके लिए.
And sir, and I remember आपने कार्गिल की बात की, जो मैं अकेडमी में था 2002 में, my company commander Colonel J. Sodi, he's one of the leading defense analysts now. So he had read out Captain Vijayan Thapar Veer Chakra's letter to us. जो एक ही बार में उन्होंने पढ़ा, इतना इन्फ्लुएंस हुआ मेरे ऊपर कि मेरे को ज़बानी अब तक तकरीबन याद है. He wrote, "My loving Papa, Mummy, Granny, and Pet. By the time you get this letter, I would be observing you all from the skies, enjoying the hospitality of Apsaras. I have no regrets. In fact, if I were to be born again, I would choose to join the army and fight for my country. Whichever organ is to be taken should be taken and donated. Please donate some money to the orphanage and continue giving rupees 50 to Rukhsana every month. And please go and meet Yogi Baba. If ever you get a chance, please come and see where the Indian Army fought bravely for your tomorrow. I hope a picture of mine is kept in the Alpha Company Mandir next to Karni Mata. Papa, you must be proud. Mama, so must you. And if you get a chance, please go and meet. The name is withheld. I loved her. Mama ji, please forgive me for anything wrong that I may have done. Anyhow, it's about time I go and join my clan of Dirty Dozen. My assault party has 12 chaps. Live life king size, yours, Robin, Jai Hind. And he went for his final assault. And Captain Vijayan Thapar, who was only 22 years old, he had just turned 22 years old. He lost his life for the nation, but he was awarded with the Veer Chakra. His grandmother went and took the award from the President of India on his behalf. I had the I had the honor to interview Colonel Vijayan Thapar, his father. And he was telling me about how he was. And his brother, Bertie, the golfer, is a friend of mine. So, sorry, sir. And these are, life which we have lived, which I may not have been a hero, but I've had the honor to walk besides real life heroes. So it's something I would have really missed out in life had I not joined the Short Service Commission at least. मैं तो तय किया सर 5 साल तो मैं फौज का तजुर्बा लेकर ही रहूंगा कम वॉट में. And I was working with Genpack that time, sir. So my salary in Genpack was much more than what I would have got in the army. But still I said no. फौज में जाना है और कप्तान साहब बनकर 5 साल के बाद बाहर आना है. I was lucky I went to the Assam Rifle after my agency tenure. So my CEO, Brigadier Gautam Ganguly, now retired. That time Colonel Gautam Ganguly, he जैसे first day आते ही made me a major साहब. तो मैं मेजर भर के बाहर आया. So it was great, and I have had the honor of I wouldn't have been in touch with you otherwise. I've had the honor of getting in touch with you. So बहुत कुछ
Absolutely.
फौज ने बहुत कुछ सिखाया सर.
फौज ही जिंदगी है भाई.
बिल्कुल सर.
Once an army man, always an army man. Take care, Mohammed, and
Absolutely.
all the best to you and your team and the good work that you're doing. Keep up the sterling qualities that you have, and my compliments to you.
Thank you very much, sir. Jai Hind, sir. So kind of
Jai
you to
Hind,
have
Jai
taken out
Bharat.
time, sir. Jai Bharat,
Jai
sir.
Hind and Jai Bharat.